Alright guys, we are back. We are up to episode 25, and yeah, let's take a look at some bikes. So first up is Puri, and he says review. He says, hey, I sent a bike some months ago, but I want to do another. This time it's my touring bike. Custom frame and 2x10 GRX, friction shifting, old school simplex retro shift, mix of the old 80s and 70s, Avid BB brakes, and paint sparkles in the sun. Alright, let's take a look. So it says, have a nice day. Thanks, Puri. Looks like I pronounced it wrong. It's pronounced P plus air. Last time it was hard for you. Yeah, if I say your name wrong, just let me know in the comments. I guess 90% of the time probably get it wrong. But yeah, this is Pierre's bike. Looks like he's probably from France maybe. But yeah, it looks pretty sick. Looks like a pretty nice bike. He just wants a normal review. So first up, I do appreciate that he's using the bike to its full extent. Got the bags on there, front bags, rear bags, front rack, bag on the front. This is like a sleeping bag. Got a little pouch here. It's kind of all bagged up for sure. And it's got running fenders as well. These look like Honjo fenders. They look like they got the hammered finish. Looks pretty cool. Non-drive side shot still. 3 bottles in bottle cages. I like that. And then down here a little bit more of another shot. I do like the straight blades with the fork. I think these look pretty nice. And then it's got some nice lugs on there. Some custom framework. It looks like an old style frame, but it has kind of new style dropouts, which is kind of cool. And then yeah, just running the classic cranks, upgraded the pedals, got this specialized pizza rack on the front. Yeah, it looks like this bike gets around for sure. And then here's a little bit of a nicer shot hanging off the wall there in his little office. Looks like he's got some DJ stuff going on over there. And yeah, overall pretty sick bike, I think. Pretty classic, running a lot of bags. I do like this little flip bag thing with the kind of like I forgot what this lock is called, but yeah, you kind of just like strap it on, and I think it's magnetic or something. Makes it real easy to open and close. Pretty cool. And then yeah, here's a nice little shot. Not sure where this is, but yeah, it looks pretty nice. Got the boats out, and looks like he went for a swim maybe, because he got all his clothes here drying. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Thanks, Pierre. Nice bike. Thanks. Alright, next up is can't see his name. It's just like letters STSFCTSHN. I don't know what that is, but it says, hi Gary, love the Furious series. Roast me or my bicy. So bicycle. So yeah, this is we just call this guy Stefan. Maybe he has a little signature, but yeah, gotta roast him for the default send from my iPhone signature. So yeah, this is his bike. Yeah, overall looks pretty good. I think he's got some nice clearance here, pretty tight. It's gonna have heaps of toe overlap here, but I think for a fixie kit, it's pretty good. Got the Chris King headset, probably a 53 square frame. Got a short stem here, an 80mm stem, and then the San Marco saddle, crank arm straight, pedal not straight though, and down here's another angle, got the Ritchie bars going. Gotta give him respect for running no brakes as well, how a real fixed gear should be. And I think this is almost the same pick. Yeah, looks like he sent the same pick twice. So yeah, kind of gotta roast him for his stickers here. He's kind of got all these corporate stickers on there, Adidas sticker and a Google sticker. Kind of contradicts himself a little bit here with the Google sticker, but then he's running an iPhone. So yeah, he kind of likes that cross-brand collaboration. He's got the San Marco saddle, and then he put the San Marco sticker down here as well. I think that's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure he's not sponsored by San Marco, so I think that's a little funny add-on. And then running these, can't see what straps these are. These are, maybe they're like, yeah, they kind of look like Holdfast straps, rip-offs, but yeah, they seem like they run pretty well. But yeah, overall pretty cool bike. I would say, yeah, probably running pretty easy gearing here for a fixed gear dude. This is probably like 18 to 40, good for like a commuter, but yeah, if you're running fixed gear, you probably need to do, like 8 to 50 But yeah, not too bad overall. Pretty sweet build. Gotta roast him for the skull sticker, of course. But yeah, pretty sick bike. Thanks for sending, Stefan. I'll just call you Stefan because I don't know, can't read your name. Alright, next up is Ethan, and he says Sunday roast on his bike. And he says, hey Gary, this is my Melbourne. He likes to refer it to a ute. A ute is a utility truck in Australia. Bought originally from Marketplace and had just moved from Toronto to Melbourne. Built it really cool, saved some money owning it. He has put on rear rack, bells, some kind of stuff. And he said he looks closer to an exercise bike at this point, so he's kind of roasting it himself. Yeah, getting scared, roasting himself already, and love your builds. Thanks. Cheers, Ethan. Yes, there's a very good chance the bike has changed hands by the time of this roast. I apologize for the next person for being indirectly roasted too low. So yeah, once it changes hands, I think it's fine because I'm really roasting you because you built it up. First of all, I gotta roast you for this deep dish chainring setup. It almost looks like you kind of rip the stove top from your stove and put it on. This is kind of getting a bit wild here. Could probably fry up some eggs on that. Let's see what else you got. Crank arm is straight. It's good. No bottle holder. It looks like running some Auri grips, friction shifting here. Looks pretty cool. Gonna roast you for this gutted seat. Hate those. Just a pain. And tires are kind of lined up, but they're slightly off, so gotta roast you for that. Valve cap is slightly bent on the front as well, and rear rack is not horizontal. And then here, more close up of the non-horizontal rear rack. Got some volley grips here. These are grunt grips, so they're grunt straps, so they're kind of like rip-offs from Bunnings, which are way cheaper. And then here running some moto bars, looks pretty cool. I like the Auris again, running a shim here to 25.4. And then gotta roast you for this dirt style top cap for your stem. This would drive me nuts actually. Close up of the hub upside down with a little anti-theft hose clamp here. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna be stealing this front wheel, so I think you don't have to worry about that. It's just a Joytech. And then here, got his skateboard set up on the back. I feel like this has got to rattle a bit, but I do like the streamlined approach. Just a little bit more aerodynamic. Will make you go a little bit faster on the TT. And then got some bolt cutters here. Not sure why you got some bolt cutters on there. I feel like this is kind of, instead of an anti-theft device, it's kind of like a pro-theft device. People can just take this off and then cut your lock. So I'd be careful about leaving that on your bike when you lock it up. And then here he's got a pool noodle here. Looks like he's going swimming. This is actually, I know where this is. This is actually in my local neighborhood, so kind of cool. And then yeah, maybe I'll see you out on the streets. Thanks, Ethan. Thanks for sending in. Overall, pretty cool bike. Looks pretty fun. I actually like the Geo and the setup overall. Has a pretty good stance to it. All right, thank you, Ethan. Next up is Philip. Hi Gary, love your channel, bro. Thanks, Phil. This is my early midnight special for you to roast away. Cheers, Phil. All right, Phil is again first up. Crank arm not straight. Tires are aligned but slightly off again. I feel like that's nothing worse than trying to align your tires, but then it's always slightly off. Alright, so this is Phil's bike. Looks like he's going camping somewhere, but looks like he's got no dirt on his tires, fresh grips, fresh bags. He'll probably just kind of like set this up for the photo. And yeah, another camouflage photo here. You can't really see. You can see it almost blends straight into the background. Like if you squint your eyes, you can't really tell there's a bike there except for the Maxxis Tan Wars. Got some nice drone bars on there, Thompson stem. Looks like it's got some type of light or wire down here. Going to the frame bag, maybe some type of light, and got some Thompsoned out. Pretty nice. And got some XT levers on the front, nice braking. Got an physics saddle. It's got his crank arm straight here, so maybe a couple points back. But yeah, it seems pretty decked out. I think he probably just built this and chucked the bags on. Doesn't look like he's ridden it much. Yeah, just like these tires are so fresh. It's almost looks like he carried it to this spot and put it down because you can see the ground's pretty dirty, but his tires are cleaner than the ground, so I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, overall pretty sick build. I think he's got one too many bags on here though for this pick. Yeah, at that point, I think you may as well start getting a couple of racks because you got so many bags. But yeah, overall pretty sick build though. It's fully decked out. It's got the EV rims and custom built wheels, 10 speed, 11 speed, GRX. Yeah, it's fully decked out. Looks like it'd be a super fast bike. Cool. Thanks, Phil. Thanks for sending. Cheers. All right, next up is Seedon. I think that's how you say your name, Seedon. Hi Gary, custom build from AliExpress parts, painted myself, please roast, thank you. Love your builds, love your videos, keep up the good work. Thanks Eden. Alright, here's his bike. So yeah, custom paint is always it's always a funny one because people spend so much time painting a custom bike. By the time you finish painting, you're probably sick of it. But it's quite interesting on the style that he picked. I feel like the style kind of reminds me of an old like 1700s knight type of deal. Maybe it's like an old knight flag and is ready for war or something like that. Seems pretty on point with these cream colors and the gold and the shapes here. But yeah, I don't know, maybe he just likes kind of the throwing back to 1700s. Got some weird lettering here. I don't know what's going on here. I can't read that. Maybe you can explain to me what this is. Maybe it's in code. And got to roast you for having these rotor cranks resting on the ground here. Got to roast you for all these little extra quick release colors, bolt colors, cable guide colors, cable end colors, seat post clamp, and stem spaces here. When someone goes all out on this type of stuff, for me, I feel like it's a little bit desperate because you've customized your bike already and painted it, but then you didn't stop there. You just want to keep going and going. And I'm pretty sure Seedon is still looking for extra things that he can customize, but it's already pretty maxed out here. I'm not sure what else you can do. He's got some, looks like carbon rims here, maybe AliExpress carbon rims, carbon cranks, and a carbon group, or an old group set, AliExpress group set. The group set doesn't look that bad actually. I don't mind the look of them. It says GRS here. Not sure what that is. I'm not too familiar with AliExpress parts, but I'm pretty sure I got this fork from there too. Got a frame bag up front, Rock Bros. I know that's an AliExpress special, popular item, popular brand. He's got some Richie bottle holders though, so I feel like that's kind of contrasting with this whole AliExpress build look. These are also Shimano rotors. Looks like he got some official Shimano rotors here. So a couple of points off for that because they should be AliExpress ones. And yeah, here's his bike in the camouflage, kind of in the trees there. Can't really see it again. Almost matching the same color as the grass here. It looks like he used this whole background for his inspiration to paint his bike because he got this tan color here on the ground. You got the green. And then you got this red seat as well. So yeah, it looks like everything matched up the bike at this particular spot. So I wonder if that was his inspiration. But yeah, overall pretty sick build. Looks pretty fast. And yeah, thanks for sending, Sedine. Looks good. Cheers. Alright, looks like he sent another one as well, but we'll skip it because he already sent one. So we'll save it for another day. I just flag it here. Alright, next up is Lokic, I think. Loic. Hi Gary, hi Loic. Here's my aux 2000 Surly Forks, micro shift drivetrain, V-brake on the back, disc brake on the front. I'm thinking about putting a disc tab on it. Tell me what you think. You can also roast me. So he said review, but I can almost roast him. So first up, gonna roast him for this photo. Too dark, it's in shadow, can't really see anything. So let's move on to the next one. Side shot is better, but then again, very camouflage into the back. But I think it looks pretty sick overall. I like this e-bike battery pack again. And crank arm is almost straight. Got the 2 bottle-in-bottle cages. I like that. Looks like he's got a cold water bottle here and a hot water bottle. Looks like a pretty sick setup though. I like the Race King tires, 2.2s. I want to try those. Little blurry zoomed up pic. Another blurry zoomed up pic here. And this is what it was before. So yeah, overall pretty good. I think pretty good transformation. You can see whoever took this photo, maybe it was the eBay listing or marketplace listing, took a way better photo here. You can actually see everything. And then yeah, here's the comparison. So yeah, just basically just roasting him for his photography skills, unfortunately. But I think the transformation looks real nice. Looks pretty badass, the bike. Looks pretty cool. I wish I could see have a couple more shots of the bike instead of the same picture a few times. But yeah, it looks cool. True tempered tubing here, nice tubing. Has a pretty cool stance, like the forks on this, just straight forks with the BMX style bars, Surly bars. Looks cool. And he says, should he put a disc tab on the back? I mean, if you want to, yeah, put it on. I would probably just keep the V-brake. I don't really mind having a V-brake on the back and disc on the front. I used to mind, but yeah, I don't really mind anymore. If it's working well, then it should be good. All right, thanks for sending, Loic. Appreciate it. All right, next up is Jamie. Hey, Gary Projects. Big fan from North California. Love the content. Looking for a roast. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for sending it in. All right, so yeah, here's his super nice pic of his bike. So yeah, gonna roast him for busting out the stand for his bike pic here. Whenever someone busts out the stand for a bike pic, it means they're 100% hardcore serious. So yeah, let's see what we can find. First up, I'm gonna say his quick release is a little far from his chain, from his fork here. I'd angle it a little bit back. It seems a little bit angled too far forward. And then gotta roast him for the gold chain here. Just you can see like overall the build is pretty classy, but he's got some bronze. He's got a bronze bottle here, and he's got some nice kind of bronze-ish tan wars here. But this gold chain just looks real cheap, just because the color is way off. So a little bit of a slip up there when he was building his bike. I probably would have just went with a silver chain here. That would have looked a bit better. I like the cabling work here. I like the XTR. This Flight looking saddle, Flight Max. I gotta roast him for this cocktail bottle in the bottle holder. Once again, trying to show that you're a classy guy, but it's a little bit forced with this, I think. Let's see what other pics he's got here. Nice little back shot here. I would say his photos are really good, super clear, super crisp. Gonna roast him for his quick release on his back wheel, a little bit too far angled to the back. I feel like it should be more straight up or inwards there. Again, another little slip here. Nice little quick release lever here. Quick seat post clamp. I feel like his rim wear is a little bit uneven on his rims. I think he could set up his brake pads a little bit better. I think the front looks good, but yeah, you can see how it's wearing on the top. Close to the tire means his brake pads are kind of set up a little bit wrong. But you know, Jamie, sometimes he can't help that. Here's got some moth bars going on. I like moth bars. I think they look pretty good. Great for this build. Nice cabling work here as well. Pretty streamlined. Nice flow to them. Jamie wants to be a classy guy, but this bottle always sets him back. It's even worse with this indented skull thing. Yeah, it needs definitely needs rethinking on this. Little bent gear cable here. Looks a little bit strange. The back one looks good, I'd say. Got the custom valve caps as well. Here's the front. Looks pretty good. Another front shot. Looks good. I'd say his XT levers a little bit too splayed out to each side. It looks like they're going like out this way a bit. I like to run mine a little bit more parallel to the fork. But yeah, just little things there, not too bad. Got to pick up this piece of trash here. He spent all this effort busting out this stand for the photos. He's got to at least clean up the scene a little bit just to make his photos a bit better. Or you can clone this out with Photoshop. But yeah, overall pretty sick build. I think sickest so far yet. super clean, nice photos. Yeah, looks great. Nice job, Jamie. Thanks for sending in. Cheers. All right, next up is J-Dog, and he says, hello Gary, I'm JD, and this is a 99 Hard Rock FS. I would like to know if your thoughts on a roast of my build. I just cleaned up and got rid of the front derailleur. Also very new tires, very cheap. That's it so far. Thanks. Thanks, J-Dog. J-Dog said roaster review. So let's see. This is his bike. All right, so this is bike. I would say it looks pretty sick. Looks pretty clean actually. It looks super fresh. Looks like this. You either cleaned it up or it was in pretty good condition when you got it. But let's say you cleaned it up, so good job cleaning up. Crank arm not straight, no bottom bottle cage, lock on seat post, and bag hanging on brake cable, so you can fix those things. I do like your kind of cruiser style type of stance here with the really low seat and higher bars. Looks pretty cool. Gonna roast you for having this huge potato in the back. I don't know what that's doing there. Kind of strange to have a potato right there. Cleaned up the cassette, looks good. Skewer is a little bit long, looks like. Be careful that this doesn't bend, otherwise you're gonna have trouble getting your skewer off. Derailleur cable not straight. But yeah, that's basically it. He just sent those 2 photos. Overall pretty sick, looks pretty clean. I think you did a great job cleaning it up. And yeah, you can start customizing it if you want now, or write it as is. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for sending in. Pretty cool one. Thanks, J-Dog. Alright, next up is Kurt, and Kurt said in the subject, love your videos, your choice. So yeah, this is his bike, and he just sent 1 photo. So yeah, pretty cool overall. I'm gonna roast you for the purple grips. Don't like purple grips, don't like purple chainring, don't like the green pedals with the purple. I think if you took away just one of these colors, it would look a bit better. I do like these Avid brake levers. I think these are 1.5s, SL 1.5s. Looks pretty cool overall. Looks like running a Livio on the back here, and Dior brakes. Yeah, overall pretty cool. Got some blue valve caps as well. Done it up a bit. But yeah, not too bad. Overall pretty nice build. The bars look pretty cool as well. Cool. Nice work, Kurt. Thanks for sending in. Alright, next up is Joshua, and he basically wrote his email in the subject. Hey Gary's Joshua. Hi Joshua. Love watching your videos and how clean your builds come. Thanks Joshua. This is my, from what I know, 80s Norco Bush Pilot roaster. First up, gonna roast you for having this huge McDonald's bag in the background. That's gonna be a lot of McDonald's for you to eat. And yeah, gonna roast you for taking this pic. Don't know where to roast your bike or roast your scooters here, or roast your BMX with the scarf or the handkerchief right near your head tube. Not sure why there's a handkerchief there. Maybe like he's one of the people that goes to a dirt jump park or a skate park and his nose is always runny, so he's got this handkerchief in the background. And then here, more pics of his bike zoomed in. The paint job looks pretty cool. Looks like custom. Wrapping the Nike bottle here. Shows you his sporty. And looks like he upgraded the pedals. Nice little upgrade. 200 GS. Gonna roast him for these disgusting tire sidewalls here. Definitely need some new tires on this. And looks like he skidded up all the way to the fence just to take this close-up photo. Alright, here's a side one. Alright, yeah, pretty cool. Looks pretty comfy. Crank arm not straight, of course. Blurry front wheel, but in focus. Kind of in focus back wheel. Upright stance. Custom bar ends here. Looks pretty cool. And then a leaf pick. Playing some b-ball in the background. This is a b-ball stand. You can tell by the Nike bottle he was pretty sporty. And then his custom frame with more stuff in the background. Looks like he's got a mini moto in the back. This guy loves wheels. He's got the scooters, he's got the bikes, he's got BMX, motos. Definitely loves getting around. And then here is another bike, looks like. Maybe this is how it was originally. But yeah, overall, pretty cool. Looks like a pretty cool bike. Thanks for sending. Cheers, Joshua. Alright, next up is William. And he said, review my dad's old bike or else he'll haunt you. Showing my dad's bike that I inherited. Last pick. Photo show what it looked like before when I removed it from storage. And it's got some specs here. Olivio, Re-D, XH sport cranks, Diecom Royal Grand Compe levers. Alright, so he just wants a normal review, and let's see the original. Alright, this original bike got this massive stem here. Looks like it was pretty much set up for comfort. Super rusty drivetrain. But yeah, classic 27.25 wheels, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 27 by 1 1/4 rims. Yeah, classic rims there. But yeah, overall, pretty sick, I think. Pretty sick setup. I love the new saddle, new bar tape, new levers. This looks super sick. Setup, clean stem, shorter stem, and nice little bell there. Pretty classy setup. Here it is from the front. Yeah, just a good looking 80s bike. Shimano badge here on the front. Friction shifters. Got these old style pedals. Got a lot of water here, so you'll never be thirsty. And then here, playing b-ball again with the Nike sponsored b-ball stadium. Pretty funny. But yeah, overall pretty sick. The Nagiri reflector here. But yeah, overall pretty cool. Pretty cool build, I think. Looks like you cleaned it up pretty nicely. Nice little setup. Nice refresh. I think this is a nice job. Cool. Thanks for sending, William. Nice job. Cheers. Alright, next up is Rusev. This is my everyday mountain bike. It's finally done. You can roast it. The parts are only visible when the wheels aren't, and they are jet set, HC down, 35 rims and Formula hubs. Cheers, Rusev. Cheers, Rusev. Alright, looks pretty sick. Looks like this bike gets a lot of action. He's out, tires are dirty, cranks got a bit of wear on them. Nice looking back wheel. Looks like an NS frame. And then here's the front, NS Surge, it looks like. Got some rock shocks on the front. Cool little setup here. Yeah, this is like a sweet bike, sweet hardtail. You can see it goes pretty hard. Got some wear on the stanchions here. It's got the green bars here with the red rims. A little overkill, I think, on the colors. Making too much of a statement with one of these colors. But yeah, if that's what you like, I think it's alright. Got some SRAM level brakes. Yeah, looks like he's at some dirt jumps here. Definitely shredding out. Yeah, overall pretty sick. Not too much to roast on this one. Just looks like a nice hardtail. I'm gonna roast you for the seat. This seat looks a little bit funky. It looks like you landed a few times too hard on the seat and it dented. So might need to fix that up. But yeah, overall looks pretty sick. I think maybe your tire's backwards on this on the rear. I can't really tell. Maybe it's right, but yeah, can't tell if your tires is on backwards or not. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Looks like a fun ride. I think this would rip. Alright, one last thing I can roast you for is this cable work. Looks a little bit funky. So yeah, probably needs some work on that. But other than that, looks like a ripper. Cheers, Rusev. Thanks for sending. Alright, next up is Austin, and Austin says, "Hi Gary, greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. Love your vids. Thanks for all the bike inspiration. Here's the current iteration of my Surly cross check. Rest away. Thanks, Austin. I appreciate that." And yeah, here's his bike. He just wants a roast. So first up, crank arm not straight. Bottle is obstructed by bag here, and front rack not straight. Looks a little bit wonky, this bike. Pedal not straight. Cable too long on the back here. Rear mech looks alright. Chain lengthwise looks like it's a little tight, but I'll let you get away with that. I do like the minimal color combination here. Just use one color with the neon green. It looks like you try to get a lock to match, but unfortunately they didn't make locks in that color. I bet he's probably gutted about that. Here's the front. It's kind of like a Zelda theme or Link theme build, I guess. Cables a little bit long here, just because you got the front racks probably interfering. Got a DIY little cable on the front here and a bent rack. Here's the back. Got the Nitto reflector. Got his brakes splayed out like the other dude here. A little too fast splayed out. Needs a little bit of work there. Quick release pointing to the back. And that's basically it. Looks like pretty nice wheels though. You got some Velocity rims, wide rims, laced to maybe some Surly hubs. Overall pretty sick. I can't see what kind of stickers he has. He has like some Sereno stickers, I think. Some anime style stickers. Probably loves his anime and loves his video games as well. But yeah, who wouldn't love those things? Cool. Thanks, Austin. Thanks for sending. Cheers. All right, next up is Scott, and he says, went out for a muddy ride, felt cute, might delete later. Good luck with roasting this one. So yeah, just gonna already roast you for that sentence. Just just kind of super played out type of thing that you would type. And this is his bike here. Albion Privateer, Pansini wheels. I need a new dynamo light. I like silver. So yeah, overall pretty sick bike, I gotta say, but the sickness of this bike doesn't really match this sentence. I think this sentence just basically shows no class, but his bike is actually pretty classy, so I'll give him that. Got to roast you for this twine on the top. Just trying to go too vintage with this build. Twine on the bottom as well, both ends. And yeah, looks like he uses his bike, so pretty good. Pretty muddy tires, I like that. Again, with the little sewing, patchwork, twine, crafting on the chainstay here, going a little bit too hard. I like the frame pump here. I would say if he's going with this kind of really retro or vintage theme, that his bottles should match as well, because these bottles, they don't look vintage, they look kind of a newer style bottle. You'd think he would wrap the top of these with twine as well, just to make it match the bike a little bit better. Nice Nitto rack on the front, small Nitto rack, like the spaces here with the stem up high, making it more comfortable. Good old saddlebag here. I feel like he needs a bar or something here so stop it from flapping around. And yeah, it looks like his fenders are not doing a good enough job because it's got dirt on his bag, so a couple of points off for him there. And then a couple more picks here. Oh, actually, yeah, the bottles might be vintage. See, it says 1996 here, but so I'll give him props for having vintage bottles, but he's going to lose points for not having the twine on his bottles, either around the top or around here. I think he could also wrap these bottles with this extra bar tape, just like around here, to get a little bit more grip and to tie it in with the rest of his bike. And then he's got the shower cap saddle. This looks vintage as well, so yeah, I think this saddle matches. And then he said crank arm is straight 100%. So yeah, he's got me there for this one. Appreciate that pick. And I think that's basically it. Looks like he's running a lot on his bike. Running triple on the front, Prey 10 on the back. I'm not going to count those. But yeah, overall pretty sick. I think I like the Drillminium levers as well. I think he could drill out his chain rings maybe just to match it up. But yeah, overall pretty sick bike, pretty classy. I think he needs a brown bag though if he's going all out. You can see like his entire bike kind of has like a more of a muted color scheme, even with his background more muted. Everything is kind of a bit worn, but his saddlebag, a few points off for that, just being too new and wrong color. All right, Scott, thanks for sending in. Nice bike. Cheers. All right, so yeah, that's basically it. We're gonna finish it on that one. Hope you liked it. I'll try to do a bit more soon. I know it's been a month since last time I did one of these, but yeah, I feel like I would do a bit more, but we'll see. Thanks for sending in. Hope you liked it. Catch you next one. Peace.